Yaki, blue futon, same shirt, so that means movie 3 of 4 of my trip to the States movie visit, and this one was Escape Room. Yes, weirdly, this movie came out the very first weekend of January, and it was still playing at the theater, at a regular theater. It was showing Captain Marvel, How to Train Your Dragon, and other movies, Us, that literally just came out, and it was showing Escape Room. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta watch Escape Room. I haven't watched a horror yet, so let's go watch Escape Room, which I already did. So let's just roll the credits. So I won't lie, when I went to Escape Room, I was thinking, you know what, it's a January horror movie. It's not going to be that good. It's just going to be a ho-hum experience. I drove my mom into it, and I'm like, oh, let's hope she likes it, because it was basically that, our capture state at that time period. And I would say I was absolutely shocked on how much I liked this movie. The escape room premise worked. The actual escape rooms worked. I was actually like the middle one of the upside down bar, as well as the triangle zigzag thing with only 2 of them surviving, because for a fact it's kind of like a PG-13 Saw, where one person died after each escape room. Well, except the first one, because you got to have a little, everyone has a chance, right? But the tension worked in this movie. The thrills worked in this movie. The actual characters worked in this movie. I know there's some complaints where people are like, every single one of these people are assholes, which I have to agree, but I think that puts the story. Well, not all of them are assholes. You have a couple of them that are assholes, but they're also good. They kind of do that flippity-floppity, asshole good. But Escape Room absolutely surprised me on how well made this movie is. And I think it made over $151 million worldwide on a $9 million budget, so congratulations. But I will say one thing. When it got to that last 15-20 minutes, I was like, you turn formulaic bad. The reason why they're doing these escape rooms, you've seen it in movies many times before, over and over again. It's how they did the escape rooms what makes this movie extremely well made, and I can watch it again. I did have also a feeling that this might have been rated R. It had an R feeling of I'll show a little bit more guts, show a little bit more gore. But the movie works except for the last 15 minutes. And the ending, let's go with the last 2 minutes, you're like, I see what you're doing. It's not going to work, but let's go for it. But the reason why the escape room is a little bit of a diminishing factor for this film. But it's a January horror movie that I thought was going to be trash. It surprised the crap out of me of how much I enjoyed what I was watching on screen. I was shocked. So, Escape Room will receive a 3.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 70%. I know, right? So the critics' and news scores gave this film. Alright, maybe I was expecting a lot less, but the critics a 48%. The audience a 57%, and here's the critic consensus. Escape Room fails to unlock much of its potential and its premise, but what's left is still tense and thrilling enough to offer a passing diversion for suspense fans. I'll have to agree, but like I said, the first hour, because of course an hour and a half movie, I think is fantastic of where it's heading. But like I said, the last 15-20 minutes, you're like, you turn formulaic, that kind of sucks. In the last 2 minutes, you're like, okay. I feel like that was completely cut on because it had a different ending, and they probably screened it we don't like that ending. Of course, this kind of was a cut on, we got to put this on there. Maybe this is better because maybe we think this is going to be kind of good in the box office. And it was kind of like most first week January movies that are horrors. They all are pretty successful. So, do you agree with my 70%? The audience 57 are the critics at 48. Chase Young, Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things about Futon from you. You both know. I'm not going to recut that. We're just going to go with that. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. Maybe my mouth is getting really dry because I'm no joke going back to back to back. And now let's go to the 4 of 4 movie I saw while on vacation. Fear factor was still not a factor for me, even though I had to hold on to this thing. Just hold on to it. And it was on it was never straight. So I was like, oh God, no, I'm still. I was 4th, but then tossing an octopus, putting your hand in eels, and then climbing stuff and shooting bazookas. I was like, I got that. Because I'm a daredevil. But like I said, 4 of 4, let's go!